Okay, it's 3 o'clock. That means it's time for the PPWR and pre-from the trays session here on the KP stand. I'm Paul Rawlings, I'm launch manager, and I'm going to introduce you to a few things today. The PPWR, the challenges and opportunities that we face. I'm going to take you through KP's road to circularity. We're going to look at pre-from trays and the PPWR. We're going to discuss KP's wider portfolio, and then we'll open up the floor if you want to ask our specialists something. So let's go into a brief session about KP. We're a company that's been around since about 1965. We established ourselves in North American market around 1970. We're split into two divisions, of which I'm here today representing FP, food packaging. We've got 30 plants scattered around 18 countries across the world, really across every continent we're represented. Let's focus just upon KP and the FP part of our business. 20 plants in 14 countries supplying rigids, films, flexible films and trays, of which today I'm going to go through trays for you. So let's kick off some of the challenges of the PPWR and some of the opportunities that we face as well. So just briefly going into the PPWR. What does it place on us? It places on us a requirement for recycled content. It places on us a requirement to design all packaging, to make sure that it is recyclable, which is a challenge. It places onto us mandatory EPR fees and other eco fees that we'll all have to adjust to. There's a section in the PPWR about packaging minimization, the fact that we have to reduce all packaging and minimize where possible. We have to meet mandatory waste reduction targets. We will be restricting some kind of packaging formats. There will be reuse targets, so that's an interesting new one from the PPWR. There are new labeling requirements, D4R, design for recyclability, reuse, and even recycled content labeling. There's some restrictions on compostability. And also we have to be aware of greenwashing. Now we have a way of getting around greenwashing. We try to use certificated bodies or bodies that will back up our claims. Let's look at the chain of custody for PET, or specifically rPET, because it's very important to this. And there are opportunities to grow and build trust in the rPET material stream. So, all along the stages, and you see them here, from waste managers, through to recyclers, through to packaging manufacturers, packers, brand owners and retailers, and then consumers. There has to be a flow of documentation, and that's one of the challenges that presents itself, but also one of the opportunities, because we can build trust in the recycling stream for PET. Let's look briefly at one of the challenges that we've faced as KP in the last 5 years. When we go to look at design for recycling, here you see 12 examples of current European bodies that will offer you a certificate for design for recycling. And they're all different. And to be honest, suppliers can hunt around and find a certificate from Interzero, from Recyclash, from C-Flex, from really OPRL, from all of these different kind of organizations. Well, all that's going to change with the PPWR. In very short time, so I'm talking next year, we're going to have a unified design for recyclability set of guidelines from Senelec and also from the Joint European Research Center. So it's going to be much more clear on what design for recyclability means. Let's take a quick look at our own journey for recycled content and how we already meet the requirements of PPWR. So it's KP's goal to get 30% recycled content within all of its products. It's KP's goal to have a recyclable, certified recyclable option for every product solution on the market. And we're going to put 30% tray to tray into all our rPET products. So tray to tray is recycled material coming from trays, not bottles. Let's look specifically now at PPWR and KP's preformed trays. Here and all around you, you'll see several examples today of our products that we consider ready or on the journey to being PPWR ready. So Elite, which is our flagship product, it's a mono material that's got an adhesive melt around the flange. It's certified by Recyclass as washable. So when this goes into recycling, the glue layer is removed, and then you've got good, fresh mono material to go around again in the loop. So this removes multi-materials, it removes PET PE from the recycling stream. We've got Eternal, which is a replacement for the old overwrap trays. This is mono material, perfect for overwrap capabilities. We've got KP Zapora, and KP Zapora eliminates soaker pads. So you don't have the soaker pad, you don't have the adhesive glue, and it's a cohabiting technology, so you have Elite trays where that material is effectively mono in the recycling stream. KP tray to tray, again, is one of those technologies that we can use in any one of the tray streams. And we've been on the tray to tray journey now for a period. I'm going to say in average we're about 15% tray to tray material in the majority of our PET tray line. Then we've got Evolve, so if you're into VSP trays, that's also you can have a mono PET version that has tray to tray and is 100% PCR. So all of these statements that I just made about recyclability, KP has a certificate for each and every one, so you don't have to take our word for it. There are some other interesting products on the stand today, and one of those Infinity hot packs, you'll see them up on the high levels, but you'll also see them over there. Now that is a product range that came into place because of the Single-Use Plastics Directive. XPS was banned in several European countries, in fact the majority of European countries, and so we replaced that with a polypropylene material. Now the other material that we have today on show, and I can see samples over there, is recycled polystyrene. So recycled expanded polystyrene is entering the market. So the recycling stream for those, obviously PET for all PET streams, polypropylene trays for our Infinity, and then we've got the PS stream, which is in development. Running and proving in Italy right now, but needs developing and pushing in the rest of Europe. So considering PCR, post-consumer recycled material, I think at the moment, the only product of our range that doesn't have PCR within it is KP Infinity, but you can understand that we're working on that. Okay, I wanted to focus on tray to tray, really because that's the main push here on the stand today. PET trays for the German market, for the DACH regions and further afield, but also the fact that the amount of tray to tray we're able to put into these products is really quite impressive. So you can see 2022, just a few years ago, we were putting in around 10% tray to tray material. As the supply chain strengthens and we're able to build suppliers, people understand how this is really a recyclable material, we can move to higher and higher percentages of trays. So last year, certified by Recyclass, there is a certification that you can get for each of the sites. We were able to hit certified 11.4%. And this year, we aim to get even closer to that 30% level. We're able to save around 50,000 tons we're able to get back into the material supply stream. We really need to prove that trays are circular. So all the benefits of tray to tray. It's not a product that stands on its own. It's a cohabiting technology, let's call it. So you can have tray to tray in rigid films. You can have tray to tray within trays. I'm focusing on trays today. So let's just say it's available across the whole rigid and tray portfolio. It's certified third party by Recyclass. It's fully circular. So and still offers that great food protection. Let's look at how many of the factories across the KP family, they are certified now by Recyclass, and some of these in their second or third years, so we can show positive trends. You've got, very importantly, the German factory up in Ritterhude, close to Bremen, that has its certification in place for recycled content, but also for tray-to-tray. We've got the site in Girona. We've got the sites in Pravia in northern Spain. We've got Crumlin in the UK, and we've got Featherstone in the United Kingdom. So altogether, these sites are already moving through certification. Then a world first from KP, which is the KP tray-to-tray tray made from 100% tray-to-tray material. No bottles in this tray at all. Yeah, only trays have gone through this. This is 100% material, 100% PCR coming from trays. You can see this version is Elite. It looks like a standard tray. Over 30 million pieces already sold in our pilot this year. So we've got samples if you want to pick them up and see them. On the screen you can see the press releases that we made, and we got a great deal of interest from big retailers throughout Germany and big recyclers as well. So there's a lot of interest in Germany for the tray-to-tray cycle. Also in another first, we're the first company to be able to get this tray circularity assessment from recycling, from Recyclass rather. Third-party assessment by Kiwa, and there we're the first company to have this recycling certificate. So this is Pravia in northern Spain, but we'll move it to Germany, to Ritterhude, very shortly. So just a point of view about the wider portfolio. If you look in the seat pocket in front of you, there's probably a life vest, but there's also one of these documents. And if you look inside, it tells you the brace position to adopt in the event of a crash or a landing on water. But it also tells you an overview of the full portfolio, rigid trays, flexibles, and rigid sheet. It can tell you if there's recycling material in there at all, if there's PCR in there, if we've got a D4R certificate, and if we're focusing on resource efficiency. As a final statement, I show you our awards that we have. So the second consecutive year for this ESG award. We're second out of over 100 companies. We've got the fourth consecutive year EcoVadis Gold Award, and we're hoping for Platinum. And then this year is our first climate disclosure, the first time we've been run through it, and we scored B. Don't ask me what B means, I'm not so sure, but we're very proud also of this disclosure. So as the last comment, there's plenty of specialists on this stand today. If you want to come and ask us any questions, come and pick our brains. Thanks for listening.